Hey, what's good all? How's it going? And thanks for coming back and checking out my latest video. This one here is the start of my new series, which I gave you a preview of it before, and if you've listened to any of our Unleashing podcasts, you know exactly what it is. It's Cherry on Pop. So Cherry on Pop, little, kind of end of the week, the cherry on top of the week, talking about everything with pop figures that has come out. And this week's a doozy. So this is going to happen every Saturday. I'm going to be releasing anything that has happened for the week for Pop, and also showing off anything that I have picked up personally. And maybe, if we can get Mr. Ryan, aka the Silent Ninja, to record a little tidbit of anything he gets, we can throw that in too. So we will see. We will see what we can do. But let's start off with this week. I do have a couple Pops unboxed, but first let's go through everything that's been shown off. A very, very big week, like I said. We started off with some Pops that I don't know I'm excited for. Awesome show. Awesome show. Love it. And that's Rick and Morty. They've already released some Rick and Morty ones. They have some GameStop exclusive ones. This is a whole nother line, and I believe it's releasing in April. And as you can see, here's what we got. We have a Mr. Poopy Butthole, a Hot Topic exclusive. Mr. Meeseeks, a Barnes & Noble exclusive with a different little look on his face. There's Snowball, Squanchy, Bird Person. There's the Mr. Meeseeks, which is it's the more exclusive Chase one. Yeah, it's a limited edition, so they're a lot harder. I'll look into it and let you guys know exactly how you find those out. There's the regular Mr. Meeseeks, the regular Mr. Poopy Butthole, and then of course you got Weaponized Morty. There's the Weaponized Rick, which is another limited edition one, special one, and then you've got a Weaponized Rick, just regular one. So those are all coming out in April. Then you've got the Rick and Morty Galactic plushies, so the whole line of those. We have a Rick and Morty 5-inch action figures that they'll be coming out with, which are pretty sick looking. And then of course you've got to have some mystery minis to go along with it. You've got your Pocket Pop keychains, and there's a line of those. And as you see across the screen, I'm showing off everything. So that's your Rick and Morty line that will be dropping. And if you haven't seen Rick and Morty, it's July 28th? I could be wrong, but it's somewhere right in July that they're going to be premiering season 3. Go catch up now. They have everything on Cartoon Network. I know they release everything for free. It's an amazing show. It's so worth watching. I loved it. I watched every episode. I want to go through it again before the next season. So good. It's something I missed out, and I'm glad there's a way to watch it. So, next up, we have our other line that was announced before the big event that happened this weekend, and these are all exclusives to GameStop. And they're Power Rangers, and they're special edition Power Rangers. They're sparkly. So I have a Doctor Strange one that I got that was exclusive to Target that I had picked up. So these are just special editions. Nothing big, but you got the yellow, red, black, blue, and pink. I want a green, but whatever. I have seen these at GameStop. I did pick up a few Pops from there that I'll be showing off later. So go there, pick them up if you like this style of Pop. Now we move into our big event of the week. Well, their big event that they were at, and that was in New York. It's really I don't know what to explain it. It's like a toy fair, but it's more for kind of the industry itself to see toys and stuff like that, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's what it's set up to be. It's not like the New York Toy Fair that they do, I think, later on this year or anything like that. So they announced a ton of Pops. So there's all kinds of them. So if you're a fan of one style or another, you got many opportunities. First up, we have our Wonder Woman coming out for the Wonder Woman movie. You have a Wonder Woman keychain. Then you got the Rock Candy Wonder Woman. You've got Hippolyta Hippolyta. I'm pronouncing the name wrong. I know it. I've not really read Wonder Woman, so I'm not as familiar, but I will be reading it up because I want to get caught up on it. I heard, especially with the Rebirth. So then we got Steve Trevor, and then of course Wonder Woman herself. So those are all pulled, and it's Toy Fair New York. New York is what it's called. But those were all pulled from there. So not many big characters in there, but it's mainly to focus on Wonder Woman. Next up, we have our old school DC Batman line. They go through, as you can see the screen here, some of the characters. I don't want to mispronounce who they are because I'm still going through some of this stuff, but they haven't announced the names or any of that kind of stuff for it. But as you can see on the screen, we've got all kinds of badass figures that are going to be coming out. I really like the Riddler, and then we even have the Mr. Freeze 5-inch figurine is what it looks like. We got Batgirl, which actually looks pretty sick. Even the Riddler. And actually, Batman's not part of this. This is just the classic TV Pops Wave 2. So, second wave. You can also get King Tut. You have the Penguin. The fully posable, the 5-inch ones of the same. And then you've got Bookworm and Batman and Robin from the first wave. And you can also get Mr. Freeze, King Tut. So, yeah, that's pretty sick. I like the Mr. Freeze one. He's actually looking pretty badass. So... and I did miss one on the list here before that, and that is for the movie The Mummy coming out with Tom Cruise. I believe that drops in July. So if you're a fan of that and you're going to really, you want to collect the Pops, there you go. There's the whole line. You've got the Mummy, Nick Morton. You got Aminet. And, of course, the Mummy. I mean, you got to have the Mummy. So yeah, you've got the Mummy. Next up, we have our Kingdom Hearts plushies, which you've got Mickey, Goofy, and Donald. Cute. So if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts, there you go. Kingdom Hearts is an amazing game that mixes Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters, of course, together. So it's pretty sick. It's I've dabbled in a little bit. I really haven't dove into it, but I am definitely going to get into it as Kingdom Hearts 3 drops. Hopefully next year. Who knows? Next up, we have the Despicable Me 3 Pops. And there's a pretty good line of it. You've got Fluffy, Kyle, Taurus Jerry, Taurus Dave, Gru, and then then you have your... wow. I'm drawing a blank on the names, but you got Gru, Luau Minion, Prison Minion, and Agnes, all for the Dorps that you got. So, Dorbs like these. My Fallout 1. There's some good Dorbs, some bad Dorbs. And then you got the pint-sized heroes from Despicable Me 3. So, these are all coming soon. So, some of this stuff is not saying dates or anything like that. Most of them really don't have dates. It will come out this year, is what's going to happen. Usually it's a month or maybe 2 before the movie drops. So, soon. Next up, which... if you've watched Nerds and you've seen him, Kurt, a.k.a. the Meat Nerd, is a big fan of Alien. This one is Ripley from Alien, and it's her rock candy. So, pretty sick looking. I like it. She's a badass female character. So, if you like Alien, there you go. You can't be disappointed. Now, here's another series which I just recently got into, and I'm loving it so far. And that's Troll Hunters on Netflix. Troll Hunters is basically a human boy that finds out that he's a troll hunter. Basic simple. So you're looking for trolls. There's some good, and then there's some evil characters in there and everything like that. So, it's an interesting stuff. I highly recommend it. It's 22-minute episodes, something like that. And it's 26 episodes long, I believe. I think I'm about 13 or 14 episodes in. So it's really good. Really good. So you have Bular, Blinky, Arag, Jim. Those are all plushies Then you've got the Pop Television Troll Hunter Bular, Blinky, Arag, Claire. You got Toby with his gnome, which the gnomes are pretty sick in here. They're different. Not what you would think of a gnome. You have Jim and his gnome. Then you've got the 3 3/4 inch action figure troll hunter of Claire. There's Toby, Jim, and it's also Jim's going to be coming in a 9-inch deluxe action figure. Then you've got Blinky, Arg, and then Bolar, which is also going to come in a 12-inch deluxe action figure. So those will be all coming out soon. Next, we have our Justice League Pops, which you knew they were going to do Justice League. There's probably going to be more, but they don't want to announce some of it because it's spoilers. You don't want to spoil stuff, so you just don't want to do that. You piss off nerds. Come on. You have Cyborg, and of course, The Flash, Aquaman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Which, I'm not going to lie, Batman looks pretty badass. Might have to pick him up. Not sure. Next up, we have a show called BoJack Horseman, which BoJack Horseman is a humanized horse. He's lost in a sea of self-loathing and booze. He was a famous star, got fired, and now he's looking for a big comeback. I looked it up on here. I have not seen the show, but it is on Netflix, so it is on my list to watch. So I definitely want to check that out at some point. Who knows when, but I definitely will check it out. So for BoJack Horseman, you got Todd Chavez, Princess Caroline, Mr. Peanut Butter, Diane Nugent, and of course BoJack Horseman himself. Those are all coming soon also. Next up, our line is of Borderlands, which is a first-person shooter action RPG game. Not a big fan myself, but I know it's a big hit. They've got some pretty cool characters. They've got some crazy-ass weapons on there. All kinds of stuff. So this is a new line of Borderlands. You have Emperor Claptrap, Tiny Tina, Little Lilith the Siren, Zero, and then you've got the rock candy of Mad Moxie. So if you like Borderlands, there's multiple games out there, I know of it. There you go. They're bringing you some pops and a rock candy for you. The next line we have is for Westworld, which is on my list too to watch, which is an HBO show. It's kind of a... I really don't know how to explain it. I don't even want to explain it because I don't want to butcher it. But the characters that we have coming out for that is Dr. Robert Ford, Dolores, Man in Black, Bernard, Maeve, Young Ford, and Teddy. All coming soon. So keep an eye out for those. And I apologize, it's a longer video. Tons of stuff here. Tons of good things that have been announced. Next up, we have our second wave of South Park. I've already got a couple of them. If you didn't see, I got Ike and Cartman. I do want to get the Butters and, so forth, the ones they've announced. But the ones that are coming out here soon are, of course, Terrence and Phillips. Gotta love the two farting, dudes, Terrence and Phillips. You have Professor Chaos, of course, played by Butters. Kyle and Stan. Excited. I will pick those up. I will for sure pick those up. The next one is a show that I am not too familiar with. I haven't seen. It really doesn't tickle my fancy to watch, but it's Gravity Falls. It's a show on Disney XD, and it's about these two twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, that are sent to spend the summer with their great uncle, Grunkle Stan, in the mysterious town of Gravity Falls, and they're learning about the mysteries and trying to unlock it as they go. So, interesting. It's a kids show. If your kids like it, there you go. You got some Gravity Falls pops for you. Next one is an old school show, and that is Darkwing Duck. I gotta pick these up. Darkwing Duck was one of my favorite shows back in the day. You have, of course, Darkwing Duck, Launchpad McQuack, and Goslin Mallard. Look badass. I wonder if they're going to try and remake, come out with a new one like they're doing with DuckTales. but who knows? We'll see. If DuckTales is it, maybe they will. Who knows? Next up is a Rock Candy Lord of the Rings line that they're dropping. So if you like the Rock Candy, then you can pick up Arwen and Elwyn. Both of the characters are coming out here soon. Then another movie that's dropping, which is The Dark Tower, which you've got, Dark Tower 3, I believe they're through. This is based, technically Dark Tower 4, I believe. It's a whole new story. It's basically taking the books, which Stephen King wrote, the Dark Tower books, and this is making a movie, but not making off any of the books. They're doing their whole new story. So, exciting stuff. You've got the Gunslinger and the Man in Black. It looks sick. The trailer looks really badass. If you're a fan, there you go. You're all set. You've got all kinds of badass figures or two of them that you can pick up for them. Next up, we're coming to the end. But if you're Five Nights Freddy, I'm not gonna go through. I'll go through the list of the pops, but I'm not gonna go through everything because there's a ton of Five Nights Freddy. So they got a ton of them. But you got Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, Ballora, Baby. And that's wave 3. Then you've got Cupcake, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, and Nightmare Foxy, which is wave 2. And then you've got a Mystery Mini wave 2. And then there's a character called Enyard, and there's 4 different types that you can get to build your own. So it looks like you can build your own. That's kind of cool. Change in interchangeable parts. So you got Ballora, Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, and then Baby. So you can change pieces out and, move them, whatnot. They're articulated 5-inch action figures. Pretty sick. One build, a figure piece included with each character. I see. So you got to collect them all to get the build of Enyard. I see. Okay, that's pretty sick. Interesting. And then you've got a 2-inch collectible figure 4-pack of the Five Nights Freddy. So then we're moving into a movie that I know I'm pumped for, and if you're a Marvel fan, or if you're a superhero fan, or if you're just a fan of the Marvel MCU or anything, and that's Spider-Man. And Spider-Man Homecoming, which is coming out in July, I believe July 7th is when it's coming out. There is a couple of badass figures. We've got the Spider-Man homemade suit, which is his first suit that he makes before he, of course, meets up, with Tony Stark and all that. Then you've got the regular suit. You've got Vulture and Peter Parker. Then there's a keychain of Spider-Man, a Dorbs of Spider-Man, and a hero plushie of Spider-Man. And then you've got some pint-sized heroes, a 2-pack of Spider-Man, Iron Man, and a mystery. And then there's also a Peter Parker one. So it's actually a 3-pack. That's pretty sick. I like that. And that's it from New York Toy Fair. They, like I said, they had a ton of stuff they announced. This is a lot longer video than I normally would do, but yes. Now let's finish up diving into what I got this week. First up, we have, of course, my favorite superhero of all time, and that's Batman. The girlfriend picked me up this for Valentine's Day, so can't go wrong with that. But Batman Earth 1, which Batman Earth 1 is part of a long line of Batmans that, if you can see, there you go. We've got White Lantern Batman, Golden Age Batman, Super Friends Batman, Darkest Night Batman, and the regular Batman, which I might have to go start picking some of these up. I don't know, but here is Earth 1 Batman, which is based off a series of graphic novels that we're talking about the Earth 1, which there's multiple Earths, multiple different universes, all that stuff. It's, if you've watched The Flash, there's a good example of it. Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, so forth, Earth 19, they've got multiple Earths. And this is one that it was written, of course, by Jeff Johns, which Jeff Johns running DC now, pretty much one of the greatest writers of all time for them. So it's something I haven't read, but I would love to read it. I believe they did an animated movie of it. I don't remember. I could be wrong, though, but I do want to read it, so that's on my list. Next up, of course, which is one that I've already shown the wave 2 of, but here's wave 1. We have Rick and Morty. So we've got Morty, which is just the regular Morty. I need to find the one that's exclusive to GameStop. I'm not sure what the difference is on it, but this is pretty badass looking. I like it. I really like it. Hopefully, he looks like he's going to stand up. Well, kind of. I'm a little disappointed that they don't give a stand. They did that with the Ike one. There was no stand for him. With these smaller legs, you need to have a stand. Something for them to, so they're not just falling over. And then, of course, next up we have a doofus Rick. Which is pretty sick. I do want to get the regular Rick. There's 2 others. There's a Rick and a Rick with a portal gun, which I think those were the portal gun one was the one that's coming out in wave 2. So, I'm probably this is probably going to be one of the few lines that I collect every character on. So, here you go. Doofus Rick. I like it. I like it a lot. So, and same thing. He doesn't stand very well. That's disappointing. It doesn't stand up at all. That's, I'm kind of disappointed. What are you doing, Funko? I mean, that's kind of crappy. So he doesn't even stand up. So I'm a little disappointed in that you do characters like that and they're not going to stand up. I know people keep them in the box. I don't. I take them out. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Yes, like I said, it is longer. There's a lot of stuff I announced, a lot of stuff I've shown off. If you did, hit that like and follow down below. Also, please, the rest of the stuff down there, we also got Ryan's information. So if you want to shoot, say what's up to @RyanTalksNerdy on Twitter, and include me at Nerdology5280. Let me know. Everything's down there. Give us a shout. Talk about some pops and everything. Let us know. Let us know any pops out there that you want to get or, that you're looking for or anything like that. Because I've got shelves upon shelves of pops here, and I'm always looking for more. Always looking for more. Love the pops. So yeah, please, though, like I say, don't forget to unleash your inner nerd. And I will see you next video. Peace.